When I was a child, I was dependent and shy. Every time my parents and I went on a trip, they had to take care of me. I wasn't willing to talk to anyone. I feared this big world full of strangers. In the summer of 2016, after I had graduated from my undergraduate school, my parents encouraged me to take a trip by myself. I felt like it was time to challenge myself, so I packed my suitcase and bought a one-way high-speed train ticket to Changsha. Changsha is a southern city in China, about 700 miles away from my hometown. Once in Changsha, I stayed in a youth hostel. A volunteer led myself and other guests around Changsha, showing us the culture of this city. He showed me how interesting and fun it could be to volunteer at a youth hostel. He inspired me to be a volunteer as well. That night, I wrote a resume and applied to be a volunteer at a youth hostel in Guilin. Guilin is a beautiful city I had always wanted to visit. Guests in the hostel were all about my age. We communicated smoothly, and I started to feel like strangers were not scary. I talked with them about our trip plans, hometowns, hobbies, everything. Fortunately, the youth hostel gave me the green light to be a volunteer. With no preparation, I went to Guilin, a city I had never been to before, a city I would stay in for 1 month. I met different people from different provinces and countries every day. I took guests to walk around Guilin and explored the city with them. We steered a boat on the river, visited terraced fields, rode scooters on the road. It was an incredible time for me. I felt like I was so lucky to be a volunteer. Volunteering helped me jump out of my comfort zone to face unknown situations by myself, to unlock new skills that I hadn't previously learned, like cooking and cleaning my room. Guilin is a peaceful and quiet city surrounded by continuous mountains. The most enjoyable thing I did was climbing the mountain and watching the sunset. It made me feel like the time was at a standstill. How serene is Guilin, I told myself. However, one afternoon, when I was checking for guests, I saw the door was shaking. Then I was moving slightly. Earthquake. I was scared and ran out of the building. Fortunately, the earthquake was not serious and it stopped quickly. We couldn't go into the building right away, so we played cards outside in the heat. After the earthquake, my mom called me immediately. She was freaked out because she had seen a notification on her phone about the earthquake. I'm good. I can take care of myself. Don't worry, Mom. I comforted her. At night, the city was calm again. A few weeks later, the other volunteer, as well as myself, had finished our assignment. I could go home. I packed my suitcase and prepared to leave Guilin City, a city that had brought me so many unique memories. I went to the train station and said goodbye to the city. My summer was over, but my new life was starting. I felt like I had grown up. I could handle difficulties myself. I was willing to communicate with different people. That amazing experience was even an impetus of pushing me to come to the US, where I can explore an even bigger world than before.